What if you could define your custom API, write the code, and deploy it all without leaving Visual Studio? Hey everyone, it's Reza. I'm back with another episode. Today we're walking through how to build a custom API end-to-end using my XRM Tools extension. I have already prepared an empty plugin in here, which we're going to turn into a custom API. The goal of this API is to suggest the next time to follow up on a customer. Our API is going to have 4 input parameters. The first one is mandatory, and it's a reference to any entity, which could be an account, it could be a contact or a lead. Then we have 3 other parameters that are optional. The preferred channel, which is an enum defined in here. It could be phone, email, Teams, or in person. Then we have last interaction date, and finally urgency override. For the output parameters, we have 4 again. First one is the suggested follow-up date. Then we have suggested channel, an importance score, and finally the reason to do the follow-up. We also have here a business service that I have prepared before. This is a simple service. It's going to do some queries on iOrganization service to come up with a suggested follow-up date. It has 2 requirements, iOrganization service and iTracing service. And by looking at the interface, you can see I am accepting an input of type request and the output is of type response. I did it to just simplify things for our demo, but in reality, normally you have different types at the service level and you would translate them to the custom API. You could be using even multiple different services. But let's keep things simple now. Go back to our plugin and try to turn it into a custom API. Okay, we will start by adding the plugin attribute first. And in fact, if I just enable code generation at this point, enable plugin code generation, and if you look at the code behind, it's just a simple plugin like before. Now we go back and continue. Let's make this one partial because we have enabled code generation as well. The other attribute I will add here is custom API. Now this attribute has a mandatory parameter, which is the name of the API. And be careful, the name should start, of course, with a prefix. And the other parameters are optional. You can add a description, display name, and everything else. But let's keep things simple again here. And for the request type, I'm going to add custom API request, then custom API response. Now, if I save and go back, you will notice at the bottom of this code, we have 2 new methods. The first one is getRequest. This one is going to extract the request from the execution context for us. And the other one is setResponse, which is going to take the response and set the output parameters in the execution context. All right. Now we have the definition of our custom API. Let's add the business logic as well. So we remember that our service needed iOrganization service and iTracing service, right? Let's add this service as a dependency and let the code generation take care of the rest. The dependency, it will be a get only property. So and let's call it follow up suggestion service, for example, and we will add a get method like this. And that's it. Now, if we look at the dependency injection logic here, you'll notice that the first parameter, iOrganization service, is extracted like this. But what we want is a little bit different. We want to create it ourselves. And if you remember, we did it in the past in another plugin, which is our hello world. So let's go there and copy paste all those dependencies that we had before. And let's paste it in here. It would be much better if we had like a base class and inherited it from all other plugins that we have in the project. So that will be for another episode. For now, I just copy paste everything as is, and I will save. Let's check the dependency injection logic. All right, now we have the proper dependency in here. Okay, let's now write some business logic in here. I will first create the dependency scope like before. All right. What do we do first? Let's validate if the mandatory parameter is there. Okay, let's extract the request first. We will need to pass our execution context, which we have from here in our dependency. Now, and do the validation as well. I have a typo there. And this is how you need to respond in a custom API. I'm sure you know that. Right. Now we can call our business service. And now let's return it. All right. The first thing we need is the execution context. And then the response. Okay. Let's now deploy everything. I'm going to right click on the project in here and register our plugin. All right, that's it. We have just built and deployed a custom API. Let's give it a try as well. I have here a browser open and we're going to do a post to our custom API. And for the target, I have already found an account that exists. Let's do this call. Apparently there's no error, but let's check if there's anything in the response. All right, what do we have here? We have importance score 70. The reason last interaction was a very long time ago, and the suggested channel is 2, and we have the suggested follow-up date here. All right. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, remarks, please leave them below. I will do my best to answer them. And see you in the next one.